Garbo Flow. So Garbo Flow said it was a two-parter. One, are the Mavs ever going to get quick players because Maxey is just cooking them and he can get 60 tonight if he wants. Part two was Nembhard has kind of fallen off a little bit, so like should the Mavs try and get more guard help? Let's start with number one. Because even if the Mavs were totally healthy, so like Lively's out, Gafford looks a little slow, AD obviously is working his way back. He looks pretty good, but he's working his way back. Even if all three of those guys were available, they all still live around the rim. You have to have a defensive presence on the perimeter. And the Mavs' best perimeter defenders in some order, Max Christie, Caleb Martin, Najee, and then it's probably like a step down and you get to Coop, you get to PJ, if you want to throw other guys in there like D'Lo or Brandon Williams or whatever, I mean, sure, but it's a real problem. And, especially right now because the Mavs only have one big on the floor at any given moment, which I think is the right way to play offensively and defensively, frankly. But with only one big on the floor, if you do have one weakness on the perimeter, it will show more often than not. But nights like this, where the Sixers have guys that can put pressure on 2 or even 3 weak points on the perimeter every single time down the floor, then, I always compare it to you have a big, your big man defending the rim is kind of like someone that is standing at the foot of a dam and there's one leak in it and anyone can plug one little tiny hole in the dam, right? But then that pressure is going to build up and it's going to lead to another leak over here. And now most people have the wingspan to do this, right? To have your what about the third one? Now you got your foot right here. What about the fourth one? All right, unless you can plug it with your face, you're running out of limbs, you're running out of body, and all of a sudden now that water's going to get through the dam and you're going to be screwed.
Yeah,
and that happens not just once per game; it happens 100 times per game. And it is a really serious problem, and it's been something that we've talked about on our show for a really long time, for the last 6 months, really. And I don't know if the Mavs can solve it. I don't know if they can do it this season. Because most teams that have guys that can defend the point of attack, they want to keep those players. And then most guys that would or could be available that you would trade for to fill that role, you have to give up a lot to get. And the Mavs are not really in a position to where they can be buyers per se. I mean, they could. They have a couple ones. They have some contracts. But really, if they're going to make any trades, it's going to be like a side grade or maybe even a downgrade. So that's setting the table a little bit. I guess my question for you guys would be, do you think that that's something that they can solve in the next 6 weeks?
Nope. No.
Do you think it's something that they should try and solve in the next 6 weeks?
There's no one available. Who? What point guard is really out there? It's like you actually would.
Well, it doesn't need to be a point guard. That's the thing. You could, like, for example, Dorian was that guy for the Mavs for a little while where he was playing forward, but he was defending sometimes ones or twos.
Well, KG said he didn't want Quentin Grimes.
I did not say that.
You did.
I said Grimes can't really guard those guys.
Yeah, he can't guard those guys. Yeah.
I mean, like Derek Jones was really good in that role for the Mavs.
Was amazing.
And he would play the role of a 3 or a 4 on offense and
defend
the
1-2s, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think the Mavs could really use a guy like that because whether or not Nembhard is that dude, now obviously he wasn't going to shoot 80% from the field and 60% from 3 forever or whatever, but he could be a guy that you use
20 minutes a game, 25 minutes a game.
Yeah, I still want a really good playmaker on the floor. Now, a really good playmaker that can also defend the point of attack.
That'd be nice.
That's a very short list of guys that I don't think the Mavs can get now.
Nope.
But
they have to draft
it's
that
just
bad boy.
like for the rest of the year, you're out Lively, which means that basically you're never going to have 2 bigs on the floor at any point. I mean, maybe in certain matchups you can finagle a way to get AD and Gafford on the floor at the same time.
If you keep Gafford.
If you even keep Gafford. But for the most part, it's going to be a one big team the rest of the year with PJ or Coop at 4 or Najee or whoever you want to call the power forward. So you have got to have quick, not just serviceable, good perimeter defenders.
For sure.
Yeah. I don't think teams
I don't think teams are willingly
to
going to be
trade
giving
those
up.
guys.
Yeah.
And the Mavs can't like give up things that people probably like who like with it. I mean, they can get like probably Gabe Vincent. Like
Gabe Vincent is washed.
I think you could
You
do
can get
better
that
than Gabe
guy.
Vincent.
Yeah,
Like
you
if you're
yeah.
trading Gafford, you can do better.
well,
than
you can do better
that'd
than
be
Gabe
Clay.
Vincent, yeah.
I mean, if you want to get off Clay, you
Yeah.
could. I'm just saying if I don't know if Lakers want to do that, but they could swap Gabe for Clay. And maybe I don't know. I think it's like a smaller salary that'd be needed.
You interested in
I wouldn't.
a Buddy Hield, Jonathan Kuminga in exchange for Daniel Gafford, Klay Thompson trade?
That doesn't solve that specific problem, though. You know,
Kuminga can guard, but he's like a wing, right? Defender, like Kuminga.
I don't really know if he's like, man, hell yeah, defense.
I mean, I'm not a Kuminga guy. Let's start there. But I mean, he is young, I guess, ish. I don't know.
But like saying focus on that one thing. All right, look at the Warriors.
They don't play Kuminga.
We're talking about
they don't
getting
like him.
Kuminga and getting Keeled or whatever, but like, who on the Mavs is guarding Steph? We haven't seen them play the Warriors yet this year, right?
No one's guarding stuff.
They're about to do
You'll
it on
see that
Christmas.
Day. Yep.
Christmas Day.
Who
They
is
have no
chasing him around a single screen one
Not
time?
Kuminga.
Shout out to Ryan Nembhard. Good luck with that.
Good luck to that young man.
Good luck with that.
Good
And
luck.
it's, there aren't many teams that pose that problem. But like Keontae George for the Jazz the other night
Destroyed
scored like
us.
40 against them. And it's like no one could stay in front of him. No one could even make him uncomfortable. And like it is just, you cannot have that weakness. That is worse than an Achilles heel. It's like if you don't have point of attack defense in the NBA, then your entire body is the Achilles heel. Your heel is the only thing that's covered, right? Like
I don't know if they win. The question is like, when will they solve that?
I don't know
The
if it's not
off-season, is
this
it
year.
even
Yeah,
possible?
I mean it's in the offseason, I
If I had
guess.
to guess, which I'm not an expert, they'll probably draft a point guard. Now there's a point guard that I like in the draft that can guard and shoot. Now that'd be great. But it's like one guy. If he's gone, you know what I'm saying? You're kind of waiting on like an 18-year-old to solve your point of attack issues. That's kind of not great either.
Well, I don't want Coop to have to use the energy it takes to defend ones.
No, he should be guarding. Coop should be guarding threes for us. Really, on like a true contender, Coop's probably a power forward.
And when Kyrie
what
comes
the
back,
hell is Jordan Love doing?
when Kyrie comes back, like he's not defending
Oh.
those guys either, and he wasn't defending those guys when he was healthy.
That's right.
Like
He doesn't guard those guys
correct.
when he was 25,
yeah, and
let alone 34.
so like okay, when Kyrie comes back and your rotation falls into place for next year or whatever, all right, it's Kyrie, it's Max, it's Coop, it's PJ, it's Najee, it's AD. One big or two or whatever. Like, okay, that team looks really good on paper. Again, not a single one on the team can guard ones.
That's right.
And so you either have to get someone that can guard ones and play them over your good players, or you have to get a guy that's better than the player on your team that can also guard ones, which requires trading a lot of them away to get that dude. Like it's
because teams are not willingly giving up those types of players.
Oh, no,
at all.
absolutely not. And like Caleb Martin can defend some of those guys, but the Mavs cannot play him. He is so bad on offense.
Yeah.
So like it is clearly
that's why teams
big problem.
Well, that's why teams in the NBA are so pissed off at the Pelicans. Like, you're not winning games. Herb Jones, make that dude available.
Yeah.
We want that dude. So many teams want a
Well,
Herb
Alvarado,
Jones.
too,
yeah. They want those types of
Alvarado
dudes.
can definitely guard point guard. It's like his thing.
Yeah, but the Pelicans are like, if you want him, you're going to pay a very, very high price.
Very valuable skill. I mean, look, man, these skill sets. I mean, the Mavs put the Portland Trailblazers. They have Toumani Camara that's doing a bunch of that stuff for them, who's guarding basically 1 through 4.
Well, even the Clippers got delusions of contention. They say once Derrick Jones Jr. comes back, like that's how much they value a player, or how much
they have Chris Dunn too. So the Clippers have two guys.
Have Dunn. Dunn's probably he's one of the 10 best probably guarding point guards. Dunn's good at that.
It's like I'm just looking around. I mean, okay, so the Raptors keep popping up in trade rumors, right?
Davion Mitchell can guard point guards.
He plays for the Heat.
He plays for the Heat.
Ochai Agbaji is a guy that they are considering trading, but like, okay, that's cool or whatever. He can't guard ones or really anyone. He can't play for them. Like, I just don't know. I don't know that that's a fixable problem this year, and I'm kind of worried.
I'm worried about it. And I just don't like the Raptors trade stuff. There's no like player on the Raptors that make you happy as them. It has like who?
Or I mean, ones that they're not willing to, or ones that they won't be willing to give up anyway.
I'm like the only player. I'm not even being funny, y'all. That I would be like, oh man, this is great for the Mavs. Would be Scotty Barnes.
But yeah, of course they're not.
Why would they trade Scotty Barnes? He's their centerpiece.
Yeah.
Like, even Brandon Ingram is like, you want to pay Brandon Ingram $40 million? I'm good.
I mean, the Raptors traded for Brandon Ingram when he was hurt.
Yeah, it's like I'm good on that, bro. I mean, $40 million for Brandon Ingram, like $40 million for a non-All-Star.
The Raptors are very interesting though because they're sitting there, in that 3-4 range, and depending on what they want to do to try to potentially go for it, like, does Toronto see Anthony Davis as like their Kawhi Leonard? Obviously, Anthony Davis is under contract, unlike Kawhi was, where he was under contract here. But does AD potentially tip the balance of power for them? But, we got 6 weeks to figure all that out.